This is the Valley Today.
North Dakota's only abortion clinic is preparing for what could be its final day of performing procedures today. A trigger ban is set to take effect tomorrow. That will likely force patients to travel hundreds of miles to receive care until the Red River Women's Clinic in Fargo can relocate to Moorhead. The trigger is tied to the Supreme Court's overturning of Roe v. Wade and makes abortions illegal in North Dakota. Clinic director Tammy Kramenacher has not said when that new location will be ready. Planned Parenthood has said that it can perform abortions at its own Moorhead facility to fill that gap if needed, but it's not clear if that will actually happen. Right now, the nearest abortion clinics are in Minneapolis and Duluth. The clinic is suing in state court to block that trigger law, arguing the ban is contrary to the state constitution. A Cass County Sheriff's deputy is on unpaid leave during an internal investigation after being arrested for DWI over the weekend. Savannah Grazer was arrested by the Becker County Sheriff's Office Saturday. She started working for the Cass County Sheriff's Office in November of 2021 and is currently assigned to the jail. New this morning, one woman is dead following a crash with a garbage truck in west central Minnesota. It happened yesterday in Kandiyohi County, just southeast of Wilmer. Authorities say a 56-year-old woman driving a van crashed with a garbage truck driven by a 47-year-old man. The woman was pronounced dead at the scene. The man was not seriously hurt. No other information is being released at this time. Medical examiners are working to determine the cause of death of an inmate at a Minnesota prison. 26-year-old Derek Catchings was found dead last week inside of his cell at the Rush City facility. Catchings had been serving time since 2013 for murder and assault. A 19-year-old North Dakota man is dead after a fiery rollover near Dickinson. The Highway Patrol says the victim lost control of his pickup near Richardton and then rolled several times. That truck then started on fire. No name is being released yet, but troopers say that victim is from Taylor, North Dakota. Just about 6:04 on this Wednesday morning. Let's get a check of your forecast now with Lisa Green. Lisa, kind of some cool cloud formations out there right now.
Yeah, it's a pretty start this morning with some passing clouds, and then looking off in the distance, there are some departing showers that are a little more substantial as far as the cloud cover is concerned, and it's being framed or framing that sunrise here this morning. So a nice pretty view here to start off the day. And our temperatures are pretty nice for stepping outside to enjoy it. We're at 58 degrees in Fargo. It's 54 in Grand Forks. 60 in Jamestown, and most of us are in the 50s. Bemidji's at 58. The sun is up in Fergus Falls at 55, and we're looking at 57 in Fergus Falls. Taking a look at your radar and satellite map, it's quiet, especially the farther northwest you go. We do have some of those departing clouds and showers over by Bemidji, Beltrami County, and then in the southern valley, we've been watching some of those showers moving on as well. And eventually you will clear out and get some sunshine here for the rest of the morning and through much of the day in the southern valley. We'll have some sun and some partly cloudy skies. Highs in the upper 70s for Fargo and breezy too. Wind out of the northwest. We'll see steady speeds in the teens to about 20 miles per hour. Some gusts getting into the 20s to even 30 miles per hour. So it does get breezy this afternoon. Now, Northern Valley, a little different for you. You're going to see another round of rain and thunder pushing in, and we'll be talking about that coming up. Temperature trend, though, going to be on the rise. So if you've been missing that heat and humidity of summertime, well, it's coming. It's going to be here this weekend and will continue through much of next week. So our temperature trend will be on the rise. Next couple of days, though, next few days, we'll be running just under average, which is 83 for our high this time of year. So some changes on the way. We'll be talking about that to come in a couple of minutes.
Okay, we'll check back in. Lisa, thank you. It is now 6:05. People living in a South Fargo neighborhood are asking the city to put up a stop to a house they say is known for drugs and criminal activity and has been for years. The Cass County Drug Task Force and Red River Valley SWAT raided the place early yesterday morning and arrested 4 people. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley spoke to a woman who says she used to live in that house and says it falls on both the city and the community to fix the problem. The house is now labeled a dangerous building by the city, meaning no one is allowed to enter the home until improvements are made. City inspectors say they found mold as well as foundation, structural stability, and wiring issues in the home. The owner has 30 days to obtain permits for repairs. If that doesn't happen in time, inspectors will then take the matter to the City Commission for possible demolition of the building.
The police department has responded to 169 calls for service at this house alone. And neighbors say large busts like Tuesday morning have been happening for several years.
They constantly have different people just living there, moving in and moving out. A safe haven for addicts doing criminal things, so I can see why a lot of neighbors wouldn't want that there.
A recovering meth addict, Paige says she lived in this house on 5th Street South for months, describing the house as a place people use to consume their drugs more than anything else.
There's just a lot of addicts that come in and out of there.
She says when she woke up Tuesday morning, she wasn't surprised to see police ended up at the home's cluttered front yard once again, and says it won't be the last unless something changes, saying that change lies in the ability of both the city and the community to step up.
The main thing would be to help the addicts living there and help the people in and out from there. If us as a community can support recovery more than we support an addict being a criminal, I think that would definitely change a lot. Every addict wants to be in recovery. They just have to figure out how to help their mental health before they can help their addiction.
She says she agrees the home should be placed into the hands of different owners, but says without extending a helping hand to those who find a sort of safe haven in this house, the problem will just move to a different part of town. In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Following yesterday's raid, Ronald Chasing Bear is in jail for open warrants on domestic assault charges. Jennifer Fay has a warrant for possession of drug paraphernalia and a probation violation. Jeffrey Higdom is being held on burglary, theft, and drug charges, and Holly Parisian is facing drug possession charges. Police are applauding an alert citizen for helping them bust 2 theft suspects in North Moorhead. Someone called 911 around 4 yesterday morning about a man entering storage units at North Star Storage. Police arrested 35-year-old Zachary Elstead and 42-year-old Jennifer Caro for burglary. Officers say they found stolen property in the van the suspects were driving. Locks had been cut off of multiple storage units to get inside. It is sentencing day for 2 former Minneapolis police officers who violated George Floyd's civil rights. Tu Tao and J. Alexander King will learn their fate on federal charges this morning in separate back-to-back hearings. They were convicted in February of violating Floyd's rights by depriving him of medical care as he was pinned under fellow former officer Derek Chauvin's knee. Floyd repeatedly said he could not breathe. One man is being treated for serious injuries after getting trapped underneath a lawnmower. Police say 62-year-old Mark Saggart was mowing his ditch near Crystal, North Dakota yesterday when he drove too far over a culvert. That caused the mower to slide and roll. He was taken to the Park River Hospital, then rushed to Altru in Grand Forks with severe injuries. Investors and economists are bracing for another interest rate hike today as the central bank officials gather in Washington for the second day in their 2-day meeting. Chairman Jerome Powell has indicated that a hike of 0.75 percentage point is likely. The Fed has increased its benchmark rate 3 times this year in an effort to curb inflation by making it more expensive to borrow money. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum is calling for an investigation into a Chinese food company that purchased a plot of land near the Grand Forks Air Force Base. Earlier this month, U.S. Senators John Hoeven and Kevin Kramer asked for a review of Fu Feng's land deal, citing the company's reported ties to the Chinese Communist Party. If the investigation finds that the company's Chinese ties could compromise the Air Force Base, the Grand Forks city leaders could then nix the deal. If not, President Joe Biden could also cancel the deal as well. You might soon be able to buy a cold beer at NDSU football games. The Fargo Dome Authority approved that idea last night. The agreement is now in the hands of the NDSU Athletic Department. It could be finalized in the coming weeks. Still to come this Wednesday morning, the Apple Watch as a real-world lifesaver. One woman swears it happened. But next, Lisa Green is in with your Wednesday weather as we get a check of that beautiful sunrise here out of the metro.